This is the second tape today. I can't get it all on one tape and give the background and everything. I'm going to pick up where I left off there. Mind control was used in the murders of Nancy and Derek Haysom. And Elizabeth is their daughter. Well, they're deceased now. And Jens is the German diplomat's son. And I told about I was working through a temp agency and had been on the street. I'd written a medical malpractice book. I'd worked for doctors, and it was about mind control murders and how you can program people and frame them for a murder when it's the agency doing it. And that's why when people say, well, what was this person's motive, like the Tucson, Arizona shooter or the Columbine, or it's programming, and it's so precise, and the synchronicity in it. And Edward Snowden only touched the tip of the iceberg in it. Anyway, my book was about mind control, and one of them was Larry McDonald and Congressman Doctor, whose plane went down. I was flown out to Flint in that campaign. But, and I'm leaving out all the, because I can't even get this up if it does any good. One of my points is the book I wrote was about Warren and Rosina Matthews, forensic pathologist there at Larry McDonald, the hospital he worked for, Piedmont in Atlanta. And there were other murders. There's Jean Srokeman, she worked for Dr. Hardiman. That one gets a lot of, should be looked into, whatever happened to it. But it was dangerous. I didn't know that the reason I had antifreeze put in me April Fool Day of 80 was because of my kidnapping and my name. I didn't know about that until late 83, and the Brits told me, or I would never have known. But anyway, I wanted to get back to Warren and Rosina Matthews, the pathologist. They were gunned down in Cobb County, close to where I was living, and later did the book in Marietta. And Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and the person that shot him was programmed to shoot him and kill his attorney. And Warren and Rosina Matthews, that murder was prosecuted, and even in it, one of the subjects was a woman, and she'd been hypnotized. So later, the whole thing, it was really weird. I've Googled it, and it's really weird because I remember Billy Jack McLemore. Well, no, that's somebody else that came. Oh, me. Another thing there. But Billy Jack, anyway, the names, it was redone, and supposedly they were released, and Tom Sharon prosecuted it. And the first district attorney, Buddy Darden, actually ran against me later in 83, and he won. And I think Buddy Darden was a decent man, DA. I really do. But anyway, Larry Flint was shot, and I was flown out there. My point here is that I was on the street. I had antifreeze put in me. I should have died. And I worked for the district attorney, Fred Simpson. Right after I had the antifreeze put in me, I was illegally taken across the state line. Talk about living in hell, and you're not supposed to talk about it. I could barely remember. I could type. That was the thing. So I worked for the DA's office, and that's when John Lennon was shot by Mark David Chapman. So the mind control murders, some of them were done in patterns, deliberately. So you would think at some point it would be told. Now then, when I'm in that campaign, this is after the DA and back at, I've been on the street, I had everything done to me. I went to, even took the book with what money I had to the post office at the White House. And guess who? I'm on the street carrying this big thing. I had a letter from the FBI. I had letters about the book and where it was rejected or revealed. It went before their board, and I've forgotten. Well, they didn't take it, so. But anyway, I signed in the big book that you sign in at the post office, their little post office sitting by the White House. And Ronald Reagan's adopted son, I can't think of his name right at the moment, the talk show host, he was the one, he had on his lapel, his name tag, his name. And I thought, my God, that's his son. Well, I gave it to him, and I signed it. And you don't want to know all the things that happened later. Oh, my goodness. But point is, they had all that in the book, and they had letters and all that in it that nobody can fake, by the way. But now back to Warren and Rosina Matthews, and when I'm at the campaign in September of '83, when Larry McDonald, the Congressman Doctor's plane went down, and Rosina and Warren Matthews were forensic pathologists and killed there, and mind control was used. And that was, I don't know when that happened, 76 maybe, that they were shot. But it Darden prosecuted it, and then Tom Sharon. And now then I wanted to get to when I was in the campaign. When I came back from Flint's, I've forgotten how this went. It was just twice. I was, he sent me a ticket, and it was very nice. Anyway, I was sent back the last time, and I was leased a car. And I kept that for a year, and then I was literally on the street. But during the time of that campaign, September into October, last September, to replace Larry McDonald, the plane had gone down that he was on, I was sent out by Hawkins, a temp agency that was next door to me, where I had the little room that had the campaign headquarters. He sent me out to what later became one of the mind control murders. I was sent out to Lovell School's private school, and I was supposed to work a couple of days for the coaching section. Well, what happened, they told me, the head coach told me I was supposed to meet with Chad and Jens Zorings. Jens Zorings was diplomat's son. I don't remember Chad's last name. Anyway, what happened was years later, when I had the Hustler car, I was driving the Hustler car, I was pumping gas in Grottos. In Virginia, Charlottesville is where Jens ended up. He and Elizabeth Haysom, and I'm going to try to get this, I can't on this one either. They're in prison now, and this was mind control for killing her parents. And it was prosecuted in Bedford, right next door to me. Oh, he's in Buckingham State Prison, Dillwyn, and she's in prison too. And these are mind control murders. These are victims. But then I want to get to the part about one of the other temp jobs I was sent out to was a gynecologist during this couple of months, and her name was Ruth. Oh my God, Ruth. Oh no, I've forgotten her name. Anyway, she's a gynecologist, and I had to walk and didn't have clothes or anything. I walked up there to work for her, and she said to me, I worked for her several days, and she offered me a job. But she told me that they were going to vote for me, and she said I was a roommate of Rosina Matthews in medical school. Ruth McClure, that was her name, Dr. Ruth McClure. Anyway, I'm flown out to Flint's and passed a background check and all this to work for the DA back in '80. And then here's the point I'm getting to here. While this was going on the month that, and Hawkins sent me out and on the temps, and I'm out at Flint's twice. When I came back on one of the times, I think it was Hawkins people that told me that the law enforcement had been in there, and they were saying they were doing a background check on me, so that was required to go to work for law enforcement and for the FBI. And I thought, what kind of crap is this? Excuse me. I had been to the FBI about the book and things happening to me and the kids, and antifreeze was put in me. So I had no idea what they were talking about past the background check. You won't get the truth in any of this. If you do a background check on me, you'll get nothing but lies. First of all, you won't get my name. I found out in '83 about being kidnapped. My father's Edward VIII. He married my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, Irish-American, Madison, Wisconsin, sister to George O'Keefe, the artist.